Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Manahil Remotejobwali and I welcome you to today's interview. We have a distinguished guest with us today, Mr. Rick, who has had a remarkable journey in various fields. As we just heard, we are eager to learn more about his experiences and insights. So, without further ado, let's begin our conversation and get to know more about Rick's life journey. So, welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Welcome from Charleston, South Carolina, in the
Thank
U.S.
you. All right, sir. So, first of all, please introduce yourself for my viewers.
Say again?
Please introduce yourself for my viewers.
I didn't understand you. What would you like me?
Okay. I'm saying that please introduce yourself for my viewers, like what you
Oh,
do.
okay. Yeah, my name is Rick Reese, and I'm currently retired. But I went to school in university and majored in plastics engineering, and which is really an interesting field. And then I went into the Air Force. My home is Boston, Massachusetts, and but went into the Air Force and launched GPS satellites that you're using right now on your phone. That was one of my first jobs in the Air Force, is to launch the GPS Global Positioning System satellites that now the world uses. Isn't that amazing? Have you ever used your phone for navigation? Have you? You use your phone for navigation? Why, I launched that satellite way back when. I'm a travelpreneur, and so I'm in the travel business, and I know that you talk a lot about working remote. I've been working remote since 2005, and everyone wants to get in a position where they can actually work remote at some point. And I saw one of your videos where you talked about affiliate programs and the difference between affiliate and referral programs. In your definition, I would be an affiliate in the travel business. And I've been doing that since my wife and we've been doing that since 2005. And as an affiliate and working remote, I don't have to go into a job, and I can work from a cruise ship or a resort. I can work while I'm on vacation. I can work in any location. And as long as you have internet connectivity and a laptop, depending on your job. And so my job is fun. That's what I do. I sell fun around the world. And so my wife and I, we love to travel. We love to go to resorts. We love to have fun. We love the sun. We love the beaches and we love the water and food. We love food. I travel to eat. May even come to Pakistan. And but we love just enjoying life. And working remotely has allowed us to do that. And working remotely in tourism and travel is a lot of fun. I'm a social entrepreneur. The things that I do to raise money to serve in the community and to build the community. And a lot of times, your job, if a person is working a job, they don't make enough money to help others. My mission in life is to serve and to help others. I'm a community builder. And so, as a community builder, we go into the community to create change. Like, you're a change agent, and your project for school is going to take you places. And the reason the project is going to take you big places in front of important people is because you're getting exposure and you're connecting people. That's a service for humanity. That's a service that creates wealth. That's a service that attracts wealth. You understand? That's a service that attracts wealth, that creates wealth. Now, do I just talk or do you ask me questions or you want me just to talk? I can, do you
Sir,
want, are you,
I ask you questions. So I ask you questions about remote work. Okay. Okay. So my question is this: uh, what are the advantage and disadvantage of remote work from your perspective?
say that again?
What are the advantage and disadvantage of remote work from your perspective?
Oh, okay. The advantage is freedom. The advantage is mobility. The advantage is to do what you want to do. And if a person has discipline, they can understand what to do and just do it. They don't need a boss to tell them what to do. And one of the things, you can make as much money as you want based on the effort that you put in. One of the disadvantages is that if you don't have discipline, nothing gets done if you don't have discipline. Another disadvantage is working alone. For me, that's not a disadvantage, but for some people, that may be a disadvantage because they need interaction with people. My interaction comes when I travel. My interaction comes when I build teams. I have teams. And we all work remotely. Well, not all, but a lot work remotely. I'd say the biggest advantage is the mobility. I recently moved from Colorado in the US to South Carolina in the US. And I didn't come to South Carolina looking for a job because I'm remote. I brought the job with me. And so I didn't come saying, "Hey, are you hiring? Can I get a job?" And so it moves you from a beggar to a power player. You understand? When you're a power player, you are making the things happen that you want to have happen. I can't think of really for me, I can't think of any disadvantages. And the reason I can't is because it depends on a person's personality. I don't need people to tell me what to do. I know what to do. I can learn. If you've got access to Google, you have access to the internet, you have access to information. If you know how to learn, you can just get the information. Go get the information. Look up the information. One of the major, did I ask you a question? Do you have another question? Because I can talk, but I want to make sure I respect the time. If you have
I
another
have
question.
I have lots of questions about remote work.
Okay.
Can I ask?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, thank you so much for your answer. And now my next question is, can you share some best practices for maintaining productivity while working remotely?
The best practice is having your vision and your goals and your objectives and what you plan to accomplish on a daily basis. Best practices are putting a routine in place on a daily basis of the practices and the things that you want to accomplish that day. The best practices is being a self learner and reading. As you can see, I have a library and I read, and I'm always learning. I would say those are the best practices. The best practice is having an understanding of your purpose in life. What is your purpose? You're working very well in your purpose. That's why it's easy for you. That's why you can learn. That's why you can do the things that you can do. Not everyone can do what you're doing. This is a unique skill set that this project is bringing out of you, and the ability to interview, and the ability to conversate, and the ability to pull information out of people. And so the best practices is to work in your purpose, even if you're remote and from home, understanding what is that purpose? What is my passion? What do I love to do? And to work in that.
All right, sir. Great answer. Thank you so much, sir, for this answer. So now let's move on to next question. Your answer is very very wonderful. So my next question is, how do you see the future of remote work, especially considering? Mm. So my question is, how do you see the future of remote work, especially considering recent global events that have accelerated its adoption?
If you don't get into remote work, you're out of work.
Remote
With
work.
with AI and replacing people on the job, with bosses that may not like you, in the workplace, with all the things that happen in the workplace, if you don't transition to work remotely, you're out of a job. To be able to swing that around and take control of your future, it's imperative that you understand how to work remotely. Along with that, working in your passion and working in your purpose is so important, and working in your vision. So if you don't shift and transition, you have no future because everything is moving to remote work. The question is, and I'll say this, what type of remote work is a person doing? And even working remotely from home, you actually want to be the boss that empowers other people. I don't know, are you familiar with the term virtual assistant? Virtual assistant is an occupation now where people are working from home and they have different skill sets. Many companies are outsourcing their responsibilities to people who work from home. So if you know how to organize, if you know how to research, if you have skill sets, if you can write complimentary letters, companies are looking for people who can do that from home. And so a virtual assistant is a new career field where they're making up to $75,000 a year. So a virtual assistant supports multiple companies when you're working from home. So whatever your skill set is, you can actually offer that to companies who are looking for you.
All right, sir. That's great. Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. So my next question is, what challenges uh, do employees and organization face in terms of communication and collaboration when working remotely, and how can they address these challenges effectively?
The challenges are motivating people and keeping people motivated. People are like sheep, they wander, like cats, they wander. And so one of the challenges faced by organizations is, how do I organize and I focus and keep my employees focused? And what they have to do is they have to have a strong vision for the company. They have to have a clear vision that's easily understood. And they have to get buy-in from their employees who are working remotely. And they have to set goals and objectives that are clear. They have to assign responsibilities and timelines. and they have to make there's got to be some sort of reward system, to reward people who are performing and to recognize people who are performing. And but the biggest challenge is, how do I keep my workforce motivated? How do I keep them all moving in the same direction? And the way to do that is through the vision that you're setting for the people. And through, you disappeared for a minute. You went out for a minute there, but you're back. But that's the biggest challenge, is keeping the workforce focused. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. Your answer is very inspirational. So, my next question is: could you discuss the role of technology and digital tools in enabling remote work and enhancing productivity?
Well, digital tools is the way to go. Digital marketing is the way to go. And because it makes you global. Like even us doing this right now, I live in the United States and you live in Pakistan. In the past, that would never happen, because there's no connectivity. But to be able to use the social media, to be able to use, YouTube, to be able to use your phone, to be able to understand digital marketing, to understand TikTok, to understand all the different avenues for communicating out there is so critical and so vital and so important. And if a person doesn't, it's worth taking classes on digital marketing. It's worth taking classes on what are the tools out there, because the knowledge is out there. It's worth Googling. I mean, a person can Google, but it's critical to success. And if a person doesn't, if they don't get involved and understand the importance of the tools to increase productivity, and one of the things that people want to do, especially working remotely, is to be proactive to the job and to learn as much as they can and to experience as much as they can so that they then become the leader. Even working remotely, you want to be the boss and you're learning to be the boss. Even working remotely, at some point you want to transition where it's your company.
Great answer, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. So, my next question is: how can remote work maintain a healthy work-life balance, and what strategies do you recommend to avoid burnout?
Travel,
Travel.
work from the cruise ship. When a person travels, their whole chemistry changes, their emotion changes, their psychology changes. When a person includes some sort of travel, fun, recreation, working remotely allows you to actually combine that. Like my lifestyle is travel, my lifestyle is working remotely. I've combined the two together and I'm at peace. I'm at peace. And if a person is working a regular job, you know, from home, they have to exercise, they have to get out and run, they have to eat right, they have to interact with people that are not just remote people, and they have to travel. Travel is a solution for so many things. A person changes their state of mind when they travel. Like whatever trips you go on, if you go to the beach, if you go on a cruise, you go to a destination, Hawaii or, somewhere near Pakistan where you can just enjoy, just relax and have fun and not worry about school, not worry about anything. You totally change your personality, everything. And then you come back and then you go, oh, real world. But travel is the answer for a lot of it for me.
All right, that's wonderful. And your life is very, very wonderful. Your lifestyle is really good. Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. So, my next question is how do you see the role of remote work in promoting diversity and inclusion in the workplace?
It probably does. It's not as good as people coming together. People working together face to face, it definitely promotes diversity and inclusion. Working remotely separates the masses. Again, it keeps us separate. And so there's a balance, but it moves more toward the not as good to work remotely because you're focused on you and you're focused on your goals, your dreams, so it separates actually the population, the global population versus bringing it together, because people are looking for their own goals. They're separating two worlds. My work world, even though it's remote, I don't have to interact with people. I don't have to talk to people. I don't have to deal with people. And so that's on that side, it's not as good. And so something has to intentionally be done. I think with virtual environments, they're now getting so complex and sophisticated that you can bring people together and have virtual parties. And you can actually go on virtual excursions and travel trips together virtually. And so doing more of those, so using technology to bring virtual reality into place, I think will go a long ways for inclusion and diversity. Using virtual reality and AI and going on trips. And it's almost like you're there with the person, with the current technology. So the workforce working remotely will need to really intentionally bring more of that to make sure that people stay together and come together.
That's really good answer. Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. So my next question is, could you can you share any insights on remote work, cybersecurity, and the importance of data protection, and when employees work from various locations?
That's a challenge because there's genius, evil minds out there that can target any company. I mean, in Las Vegas, they shut down the casinos. The casinos in Las Vegas had a cyber challenge where the casinos were shut down. The slot machines, and so it's a challenge because of the technology and the genius of evil thinkers that are out there. But it's so important to be secured, and it's not that it's hard, and it depends on your job. I'm from the space world. I'm from government, space, military, and of course we've got security, but that costs a lot of money, and many companies aren't don't have the money to invest, in security, cybersecurity. And so really it's a flip of the coin. But to answer your question, it's critically important, especially depending on the mission of what you're doing. Of course, mine is travel, so it's not as super secure, but it's definitely something for consideration. And as technology increases, it gets more difficult for companies without spending a lot of money to ensure that they are secured. But it is important.
Thank you so much, sir, for your answer, and thank you so much for joining us today to explore the dynamic world of remote work. We had the privilege of gaining valuable insights from our guest, Mr. Rick, on this increasingly relevant and transformative topic. As we wrap up, it's evident that remote work has become an integral part of the modern workforce, offering numerous opportunities and challenges alike. We hope the discussions and perspectives shared today have been informative and insightful for our audience. So, to stay updated on the latest trends and the best practices in remote work, please subscribe to our channel to follow our platform for the future interviews and discussions. We extend our gratitude to Mr. Rick for sharing their expertise and to our viewers for joining us. Remember, the future work is ever evolving, and the right strategies and the adaptability, remote work can be powerful force for a positive change in our professional life. Thank you for being with us today. And until next time, stay connected, stay productive, and embrace the opportunities of remote work. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me your precious time, and thank you so much for your very valuable answers.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being on the show.
Thank you. It's also my pleasure. Bye. Have a wonderful day ahead.